Hello again. We are speaking about the upcoming conference, Procure a Better World, and we're putting the spotlight on silver sponsor NIDA today as I introduce NIDA corporate trainer Andrew Martin. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Yvonne. How are you?
Very, very well, thank you. Now, I am a big fan of everything that NIDA does, especially in the corporate world. And you're going to be running a networking session, which is a training session for delegates entitled Awkward to Awesome. Tell us a bit about that.
It's a great title, isn't it?
Yep.
It is, in fact, a workshop on networking. It's going to go for all of 30 minutes. But in that 30 minutes, we're going to look at three key things that we can all do when it comes to becoming more comfortable when it comes to networking. There's no doubt that I think most of us fear networking, particularly if we're a bit more introverted than the average person. We suddenly find ourselves in an environment where we're expected to do well, we're expected to make friends, expected to meet new people, and we're not entirely confident about how we can actually do that. So I'm not suggesting we're always going to be totally awkward and whether or not we'll be totally awesome, but we can certainly close that gap between those two things.
I love that idea. And this is, one of these soft skills which has become so valuable these days within an organization. Why is that?
I think that the reality is that these days, the expectation is that we build rapport with as many people as we possibly can, that we can't always wait for that natural sort of rapport period that might take place over a number of weeks or a number of months even, that we often have to fast track these relationships and certainly be in a position where we can be more influential a lot quicker. So this is where these networking skills can often put ourselves in a much greater position in a quicker time.
Yes. Well, it is awesome, not awkward, to have NIDA on board helping us with this Procure a Better World event. And most people wouldn't understand that NIDA does a lot of work with corporates. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, NIDA's been working in the corporate space since the early 90s, in fact. And I think there was a realization many years ago in those early 90s that, in fact, a lot of the skills that actors have, the sort of toolkit that all actors build over many years of experience, can actually be applied in the corporate space. So they're around storytelling, they're around being able to listen intently, they're around being able to be more influential, how to actually use our voices, how do we use our physicality and our gestures, for instance, eye contact and those sorts of things to great effect, because these are things that actors do all the time in building a character, in performing on stage, or whether it's to a camera, for instance, for film or television. Corporate spaces are in fact very similar spaces. They're just another form of stage in which people actually are performing and are actually taking on a particular role at certain times. There's an objective they're working towards, and one of the best ways of doing that is to acquire a series of these soft skills.
Right. Well, now I'm going to put you on the spot because I'm dying for a little hint. Give me one tip for people who are nervous about networking events.
I think one of the best tips that I can share with people is that try to take the pressure off yourself to be interesting and think more about being interested in the other person. There's nothing more flattering than actually have someone listen to you. So why not apply some of the active listening skills that we'll do in this workshop, which will mean that you take the pressure off yourself by actively listening to the other party. And in doing so, picking up on what they're interested in, what's their area of interest, and then perhaps making a comment in relation to that, or showing some insight in relation to that, or just asking them another question, which means that they can talk further about their area of expertise or interest, which is actually going to be of benefit to you in your workplace.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, that was less than a minute. So if you want 30 minutes of the good stuff from Andrew, you must attend his event at the conference. We'll see you at Procure a Better World. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Yvonne. Thank you.